Warning! Graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. Right, I'll just take a little bit of time at the beginning of this video to set the scene. It's April 2018 and myself and Bro have come out to a new permission to set up some feeders. We're on quite a few shooting forums on Facebook. One of the members, who we'll call Matt, has asked for extra help with the squirrels on the large estate he shoots. As he's not too far away from us, Brev offered our services and did all the legwork with the estate management, which culminated in written permission from the estate's lawyers to shoot, which came with some rules they want us to work to. Brev has told them we hope to take at least 100 squirrels out before we have to stop for the pheasant season, which is one of the rules they specified. Thank you both Matt and Brev for your efforts. This area of the estate isn't shot for squirrels normally, so we anticipate a lot of action. By we, I mean Bro, Brev and myself, with the addition of Grant, who has been a guest in some of our vids before. I intend to make a video series from the footage, showing us from start to finish. So 4 of us in the wood on the hill, which shall be referred to hereafter as Squirrel Hill. Bro, Brev and Grant have already been out to this location to suss it out. This is where Bro wants to put his feeder. I've not seen it before, it's my first visit. As I came to the gate, I saw some movement at the base of this old empty pheasant feeder. See the notches in the bottom? You can also hear something's claws. So we've barely been there 5 minutes. I'm tapping on the metal on the top, see if I can get what's inside to come out. I know what I think it is. I think it's a grey squirrel. So I'll have a little peek inside. I'm filming on my phone. Let's have a quick look. And there we have it. I would say a very good sign for a feeder in this location. We've got nothing to shoot it with, so we'll just settle for flushing it out. There it goes, out the corner. And Bro's pointing just in case I didn't see. We decided to upend the metal feeder and put ours on top for the time being, just for a short-term measure. Then on down the road, or the track even, where a tree has been spotted by Bro and Brev, they thought I might like to put mine on. I can drive down here in my 4x4. We're not allowed to screw to the trees, so we've had to use straps. That's fine, we can do that. I took a guess at the angle from where the sun comes from, and we left it 11 days and came back for a first visit. Not sure how mine's going to fare, but we've got to go up this track into that woodland. Bro and Grant have got one round the other side, so we spread them out a bit. I'll start off with my footage. This is me looking at my feeder, and that's the actual angle of the ground. If you level the camera off, it's a bit deceptive really. You can see the sun breaking over there, so I've got the angle of the feeder wrong, but with the straps it's not difficult to alter. I'm using the Theoban Rapid F.A.C rated 18 foot-pound .20 MTC scope on the top, and I'll be launching JSB exacts if I get lucky enough to see a squirrel. You can see in the distance, somewhere about 2 o'clock I should imagine, looking straight ahead. That's roughly where the sun's rising. So I got the position of the feeder wrong really, it should have been further round. I just got to sit and wait. I've no idea whether this has been taken up by the squirrels. I've had a look in the top, doesn't seem much of a dip in it. I left the lid open to allow all sorts of other animals to have a free feed. Working on the principle, if the birds were on it, then maybe the squirrels will be attracted to it. We've been given a pretty free rein. Anything on the controllable species list we can engage, or should be engaging. One of the few things we're not allowed to do is shoot the hares. There's quite a lot of hares around the area. I personally don't shoot hares, but neither do the other lads, not unless there's an overpopulation we're specifically asked to. It wasn't long before one decided to hop past me. Marvellous animals. Made my day to see this. No idea where I am. Just hopping up the path. Live above ground all year long. Like I say, we've been specifically told not to shoot them. Not that I would anyway. I used the F.A.C rifle here today because I knew I'd be covering a bit of an area. There was a possibility that the squirrels might appear elsewhere. Normally we're hampered by distance. We sit normally 15 yards from the feeder because there's not much extra room. But here, that would be in range with this rifle quite easily. You see the sun, it's got up quite high in the sky now, tells you exactly where it is. Ho hum, we all make mistakes. You can always move that feed around if necessary. It's early days yet. Near a J in the distance. Unlike some of our more recent vids where we haven't bothered to shoot them, we've been told specifically to go after them if they appear anywhere in your field of fire. We came here for squirrels primarily though, anything else is a bonus. You can see up in this tree in the distance there's already squirrel movement. This time of year, there's a lot of buds on the trees, and that counts as natural food for squirrels. When they get natural food, the feeders aren't often the main focus of their attention. When the sap's rising, they'll bark strip, and also chew the buds off the trees. But I do hope that maybe if one or two have found my feeder, time will tell. A lot of action going on in the distance. It's a beautiful morning. Just short on action so far. I've had a few texts off Bro. He's doing okay. You'll see that in the latter part of this video. Difficult to make out, I know. An awful lot of mooching around and sunning themselves in the cool of the morning. Like I said, I'm going to show you the whole scenario, any footage I've got. I do believe Grant's already been here and shot. Can't remember how many he's got. I don't think he filmed it. At this point in time, we didn't have a video camera. I'll add all the totals up at the end to let you know how many you got when we've gone through all the video footage. Not a care in the world, is it? Bit of a flea bag, bit of a groom, 1/700 times zoom now, digital. Quality's not great, but you can still make out what it's doing. Chilling in the tree. If it was closer to the home, we would probably done more checks. We just decided to turn up on spec, see what luck we got. You never know, do you? So it's only been 11 days. Sometimes feeders take longer to be found. And there's a squirrel up a tree. This one's a lot closer. This is within range of the Cleveland Rapid. I must confess I did have the sniper cam on. All the footage I got was really bad, mainly because it was difficult to pick up on anything. It's much easier to set the main camera back, get my eye to the scope so I could track it easier. You just see it flit down the tree there. Because of the way the sun is and where I've positioned the feeder, not got the best view. Got high contrast, dark shadows, bright side to the tree on the right, making it very difficult to see the squirrel. I keep losing it. Sometimes it's around the back of the tree, sometimes it's in view. But on the shadowy side, I'm not seeing it very well at all. There we go, I've picked it up again. Part of it's the problem with the camera, picking up the shadows. I'm just trying to pick it up. 1 minute I'm looking over the top, I'm back on the scope trying to track it, hope it sits still long enough to take a shot. I've been waiting here quite a few hours now. You see it's down the bottom of the tree there. I'm struggling to find it with a scope. not sitting still for long. And that's pretty much a squirrel going about his daily business. And that's why the feeders are so effective. They do sit still at a fixed distance in front of you. It's only now watching this video on the big screen I can see where he was all the time. May or may not have had a shot, not sure how many sticks were in front of his face. But did struggle quite a lot. I put that down to my poor positioning of the feeder. About as well he should have been. Probably would have had it profile. It's finally made a move. I've spotted it now. The only thing is I haven't turned the camera onto it because I'm too busy trying to track it with the scope. And I found it sit still. You see it drop to the ground. And after several hours of waiting, I open my account at Squirrel Hill. Good solid impact there. Not long after, another squirrel appears on the side of the tree. But that one disappeared. You see now the sun's got quite high in the sky, beaming down on that side of the feeder. I'm thinking to myself, if that feeder is round, quarter of a turn to the right, and I was sat over that direction more, I might have picked up that squirrel a bit easier. But never mind. Bro's done alright. We'll see in a minute. Just to take a few pictures at the end of the day. My lovely rifle. And there's the one kill I got with it. Only one, but it's not a blank. Over to Bro now, Daystate Harrier X. And his trusty Webley Power Pals. The feeder's a little bit top heavy with that feeder airs on top. It's only a metal drum at the end of the day. The ground's not exactly that flat. I wedged a few bits of wood round it. We've given him a little ramp to climb up, as we often do. So that would have to jump up, which they could do. But usually when the dead ones hit the ground, usually offers them a way to walk over the top without passing by them if they're a bit nervous. This hen pheasant doesn't care though. See some of the trees are in bud. Bank's a bit bare. Nice to see a bit of movement though. Quite a bit of wildlife in these woods. Looks like the pheasant can get on the feeder but not get into it due to the hatch being open. We fully expected to see quite a few pheasants around. Probably leftovers from last year's shoot. I'm going to come back to this area because this is where they were fed. So there's an argument over girls going on. Bit of a pheasant fight. Maybe that's the one who had the two girls, I'm not sure. Bro didn't say in his footage. Not quite the fight I expected to see. Seemed to have sorted it out. Maybe Bro didn't pick up the rest of the battle. Seemed to settle their differences. Who's the boss? And then him. Here we go. It's Bro's lucky day. Then again, we did think this spot was a pretty good one. With the fact that we had a squirrel in that metal feeder when we got there. Didn't take them long to explore and find that. Bro's got the scope cam on. See where he's aiming. There we go. It's all a bit easier when they sit nice and straight on the feeder like that. This time I think. There we go. Pellet goes straight through the head and hits the feeder. Squirrel hits the ground. Account opened at Squirrel Hill. Just having a look through the scope first. That'll do. It's dropped nicely away from the log they use to run up. Ideal. Rose turned the camera on, focused it on the feeder. Seen some movement somewhere. It's the thing when there's no leaves on the trees, you can see up the bank. There it is to the left. Must have spotted it coming down the bank, but then it was obscured by the metal feeder. There we go, a bit of violence. How quick was that reaction? Stalked in slowly, then pounced on the dead one. There's no reaction, so it left it there. Obviously not fussed about the one being on the floor. Thought Bro might shoot it there for a second. He's got the patience to let it come up to the feeder and sit still. Now he's watching it. Just wait for it to dip again. There we go. Nearly a full-on headshot there. And the nerves kick in. That log looks like a bad idea at this point. It seems to have forcibly kicked its way under a gap in the log and out the other side. It's made life easier. That could be a bit of a problem going forward. You can hear his squirrel call on his phone kick in. I think that was probably a text from me. This one's come romping in. You can see the action that Bro's getting a lot better than mine. It's good to know one of us had a good day. Better days are ahead at this place, as you'll see if you watch the whole series. No messing, straight in for a feed. Despite the fact that there's buds there on the trees, there's free food. It's going down a treat by the look of it. I really hate it when they do that. Head in the trough. One flinch and that head will shoot back several inches and you'll miss it cleanly. You've just got to gauge whether it's going to sit up eventually. If you're lucky or not. If they stay like that, they'll get shot. You can see the crosshairs are moving along. There we go. That's the sort of thing that catches you out. Sounds an awful lot like he didn't cock his rifle after the last shot he took. There we go. Above the eye into the middle of the head. Starting to form with a squirrel Jenga there. Nice little carpet of squirrels forming. You can see this one running down the bank. Turn the camera on. Sat on that log, or branch even. From all the video footage I've edited and conversations we've had, it's very noticeable how dead logs very often turn into walkways for squirrels. It's pretty much why we started using them as branches to climb up onto the feeders. After a while they develop a bit of a scent pattern, I should imagine. See, the squirrels will turn up at places and sniff around. As I said in other videos, it's like reading the newspaper. You watch a lot of animals do it. Dogs certainly do it. Take my dog for a walk, have a sniff around, smell all the smells. I'm willing to bet they may recognise some of them. Deft little jump there. It sits up nicely on the feeder. Like the good old days. This is what used to happen on our other feeders. Without fail, pretty much. They'd come in and sit that way every time. This is pretty much virgin woodland for shooting squirrels. Another one straight through the brain. Lots of blood coming out the ear, you can see. Quite a violent reaction, but it is only just nerves. And that's dropped in a bit of a tire rut over to the left there. No problem there though. Oddly enough, we've got another pheasant come in. Sometimes interesting to watch what happens with pheasants. How they treat the squirrels. They'll seem a bit wary. This one seems to get closer and closer and closer. There's obviously a bit of grain on the ground. I can only imagine it's been dropped by squirrels. Messy feeding, or when they've been shot, dropping their handful of grain. Or pawful, as I should say. They'll fall into the trap of anthropomorphizing them. The pheasant doesn't seem to care, does he? A lot of videos we've done, they've been around while we shot squirrels, and they just look quizzically on. More movement spotted. This is part and parcel of a new permission. You start to see the directions they come in. Sometimes you can make alterations to make it easier. This one's coming through the trees. Or you can move your feeder around to make better use of the directions they come from. This one's not bad. The sun's on the feeder. Bro's sat pretty much in the shade. See a pheasant coming down the bank behind. It's come dashing in. Where her hurry is. Maybe she's expecting this clumsy squirrel to drop a bit of grain. Well, he will in a minute. The squirrel's looking down at her. There we go. Go on, son, have a munch. That'll do. Straight on headshot, straight to the ground. The pheasant doesn't even care. He's only mildly interested in a kicking squirrel. Saying that the shot didn't bother it either, which is quite usual. That's what we normally see in this situation. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, pheasants are a little bit dim. That'll do. Another one down. This one's got on the feeder before he's had a chance to react. Sometimes it happens, but it doesn't usually matter. Just means it saves on the waiting time. Nice and settled, this squirrel. I think there's a farmyard not far away. Nice seem to carry up the bank to the left quite well. There's a path to the left of this little area where Bro's shooting. If you go up the top of the hill, that's where Grant's feeder is. Quite a distance that way. Tried to dot them around. Try to make the most use of the area. And draw squirrels in. Go on, son, stick your head up. Picking up spilt grains for some reason. There we go. That looks like a bad shot. And it jumped. That was a hasty cock of the rifle. I'm going to switch cameras over now because there was nothing on the other footage worth looking at. Just taking that to full screen. He's clean missed that squirrel. You can see where he's aiming. Right over the eye. Within a couple of frames. That's where it had gone to. I think his shot has just skimmed past its head. This one he's aiming just behind the eye. As he takes the shot, you see it's going to hit just behind the eye. could have done with being a bit further back. But after the miss, it was good recovery and good second shot. That's what happens sometimes. Trouble shooting off sticks, sometimes you lose a bit of focus. That's the second shot he's given to that one on the floor, believe it or not. Turned the camera back on to film the bird life and saw it twitch and shot it again. Which is what I said earlier on. They looked a little bit too far forward, just behind the eye, even just barely good enough. Back another ½ inch from that, even the front edge of the ear. Anyway, no problem. Don't tend to walk off a headshot. If it was breathing, it'd be unconscious. Comes yet another victim. That was the last one that was shot, I think. Quick look at it. Didn't spend too long. Seems to be a lot of raptors around this wood as well. A lot of buzzards calling. I do believe that's a buzzard, European buzzard. It's not a hawk, it's a buzzard. Anyway, pretty sure there's goshawks around here as well. I haven't seen one. I'm definitely sure there's buzzards though. Anyway, enough of that. So we've got a good look at the scenario below him, or her. Taking its sweet time. Sometimes happens when you've got a pile on the floor. The chicken's making a racket down the bank. Bro's lifted his rifle up now. Got the scope cam going. There we are. It's more like it. If you're patient, very often rewarded. A sharp intake of breath for some reason. Well, that's about. It seems to be looking straight at him. That's fine as well, they can do that. So annoying when they do that. Head in the trough. Just asking for it, isn't it? Now, if you'd asked me, just based on that shot, I would have said it a little bit too far forward as well. This one's dead as a doornail on the ground. Sometimes it happens like that. This one's come down and got the tree. Bro spotted it coming, obviously, lack of leaves and all. Just got to turn the camera on and see what it does. All the others have favoured a bit of wheat, and this should be no different. Trying to focus on it. It's just a shadow he's looking at there, still at the tree. For some reason it's had an attack of nerves, shot off to the right. Just about make out where its body is. He's looking up into the tree to see it now. It's there somewhere. Not coming down to the feeder though. He stopped filming that. I don't know if this is the same one or not. Disappeared from view for a while. This isn't very helpful either. Disappearing off over there. Starting to get run-throughs now. And they're quite happy and warm. Their belly's full. They just tend to much about a bit. So maybe this is fed on buds somewhere else that's not interested in the wheat, possibly. It's getting late in the morning. Oh, look. Here's another one. This'll do. So that's a 2-inch shot. I'm guessing that other one was the one that was not playing ball. Maybe there was 2 all along. That's why it sprinted off. And that one's just clocked the ones on the floor. Needs to get back in shot. The difficulties with filming these things sometimes. There we go, that's better. It's hard to know where to point the camera. It's more like it, textbook. Sat up nicely feeding. Out of its paws. Sat nice and stable. There we go. That's wrong with that shot. Tell me the reaction. With back leg kicking. That'll do. Here comes the other squirrel from the left. Is he going to come to the feeder? I'm pretty sure that's the one that we saw in the last clip. Didn't seem to be too worried by the shot, did it? Maybe put it on alert for a couple of seconds, but it's come back through this area. It proceeds to disappear off up the bank. Never mind. Hopefully it will find the feeder eventually. Bro's called it for the day. I'm pretty much wrapping up at the same time. There's a squirrel Jenga. A lot of blood off them. A lot of brain damage going on. There's that one that kicked over there. Landed in the track. Not bad at all. 8 squirrels down. 1 for me. Good first visit for Bro. Only 11 days in. I've decided to move my feeder closer to Bro. I have actually moved it too close. As I carried it up the hill, I dropped it and broke the side edge off. How clumsy of me. Then off to see Matt, who I've not met before. And we had a bit of a chat about our first visit to Squirrel Hill. I hope you stay tuned to watch further episodes from this series and see how we all get on and what our end of season tally is. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.